Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. Wednesday in the NBA. It'll be Monte Ellis and the Golden State Warriors facing off against the New York Knicks. And tip-off is just around the corner. We send you out to Kevin Harlan in New York City.
It's a road trip for the Golden State Warriors in this interconference matchup. Welcome to the Big Apple. The Knicks are playing before their hometown crowd here in New York. It's what you've been waiting for. 2K Sports and the NBA present our Wednesday afternoon affair. And now the Golden State Warriors starters. David Lee and Andres Biedrins up front. Monte and Curry in the backcourt. And it's Wright in at the small forward. And for the Knicks, Stoudemire and Turioff in the middle. Billups and Fields pairing up in the backcourt. And it's Anthony in at the three, the small forward.
You know, it was a relatively healthy season for the Warriors last year. I mean, the season prior, when you add up the games players missed with injury, it came out to 501, guys.
Wow.
I mean, that's the most since the NBA started tracking the stat in the mid-'80s.
So Golden State will get the first possession. Billups against Curry. The feed to Lee. Curry kicks to Ellis. 6 on the shot clock. Makes it off the glass. And for the Warriors, a new training staff through most of last season. You know, Steve, do you think that might have had something to do with the team staying healthier?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes you just have bad luck, and sometimes you have good luck. I thought the Warriors have the right idea with this franchise. They're trying to get bigger on the front line. They're trying to get younger. They're trying to infuse this roster with talent. And I think they've got a chance to be pretty good in the next few years.
Now let's send it down to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Mark Jackson.
Yes, Kevin, he told me that they're facing the type of team that is one of the best at forcing opponents into defensive mistakes. He said, quote, physical errors are forgivable, but any mental lapse today is inexcusable. We have to be the smarter team out there. Kevin?
Thanks, Doris. So keeping the opposing shooters in check, guys, they're making that a very high priority right now.
Easier said than done, though. I mean, they've got a lot of sharpshooters and guys that can fill it up.
Yeah, the big thing is you want to challenge every shot. I mean, you just can't give these guys airspace because they'll make you pay.
You know, looking at Amari's numbers from last year, he had career highs in points per game, and that was even as he was being the focal point of opposing teams' defenses.
Now here's Billups. Back to Anthony. Over Biedrins. And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Billups. Anthony's got his second basket. And it's the Warriors with the ball. You're right, Clark, going back to Amari. He took 19 shots a game, but was still able to keep Steve his field goal percentage over 50%.
Well, it's not easy to do when you're seeing so many double teams. And now that Carmelo Anthony is going to be on the Knicks full-time for a full season, I think you'll see Amari with even more room to work with on offense.
Outside, Billups. And Curry picks him up defensively. Anthony against Wright. The jump hook, and again it's New York.
It's no secret what a Mike D'Antoni team is going to do against you. I mean, they're going to get it up and down the floor and try to score as fast as they can on you. I mean, that's who they are. The formula is going to get you wins, but will it see them to a title?
It's stolen by Stoudemire.
Unnecessary pass there. He's got to make a better decision. Well, that's great. You take advantage of that turnover and convert at the other end.
Absolutely. I mean, points off turnovers this time generated off the steal.
Back to what you said about Mike D'Antoni, that seems to be a valid question about his style. Steve, what do you think?
Well, it's been a long time since a team based solely on offense has actually won a title. But, you know, they're going to score a lot of points with Carmelo and Amari Stoudemire. But if anybody can break through and win a title playing that style, it's Mike D'Antoni.
Now here's Billups, following the miss by Monte Ellis. Just 4 to shoot. That's the bucket. 6 points for Carmelo Anthony. Here's Ellis. And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
This run a definite concern. They've lost all momentum, and they need to try to sort this out right away.
For the Knicks, Jared Jeffries. He's checked in for Turiel. And it's Walker in for Landry Fields. Lewis Amundsen. He's checked in for Golden State. Williams comes in for Steph Curry. Here's Williams. Ellis outside. Off the screen, and he finishes at the rack. Ellis has got 5 now.
Monte Ellis last year led the NBA with 4 different 40-point-plus games. And just a creative, explosive scorer. And he's got that mid-range pull-up that he can use at any time. Boy, this is scary. You get a score rolling like this, you're in some trouble.
Yeah, you can't leave a guy like that on an island. I mean, you got to bring some help.
Amundsen dishes to Wright. He passes to Amundsen. And the pass to Ellis. Down to 5 on the shot clock. No good from outside. The Knicks leading by 5. Now Billups looking for his first bucket of the game. Here is Jeffries. He feeds it to Walker. And here's Anthony from the arc. And the shot is good.
Boy, are they on a tear.
You know what, Steven? Offensively, you sometimes don't know how or why it happens, but you just ride the wave as long as it's flowing.
Now they get those 3 points back in a hurry, don't they?
Yeah, they sure did. Didn't take them long at all to respond.
They're scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Knicks out front, up 5.
And they're really keying in on getting as many good shots inside the lane as possible. They're doing a nice job of not just settling for outside looks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, they're working it inside and doing it with intention and purpose.
And it's more NBA action coming your way here on 2K Sports. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. Here is Douglas.
Well, fellas, you know, Melo coming over to the Knicks, the big story around the league, really, as the Knicks like to make headlines, and they did with that move. Some, though, can criticize New York for being more concerned with being on the front page than actually winning. I'm not sure I quite agree with that, but certainly some people may have felt that way.
So with Stoudemire sitting on the bench, here's the 5 for Mike D'Antoni right now. They've got Sean Williams, Tony Douglas out there with Walker. Then it's Anthony, and it's Jeffries in at the 5 down low. And he makes the free throw. Well, back to what you brought up, they have always tried to be a part of big trades that are being discussed. Sometimes they work, Steve, and sometimes they don't for that team.
Yeah, but anytime you have a chance to get a superstar like Carmelo Anthony or like Amari Stoudemire, I think you go ahead and do it. And so New York is set up now for some success over the coming years, but we'll see how they go forward and what kind of roster they put around their 2 stars.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Hey guys, the Knicks uncovered a gem when they plucked Landry Fields out of Stanford. Coach Mike D'Antoni said he's a heady basketball player. The best part of his game is all the little stuff. It's his consistency with all the details of the game that makes him unique. He's an efficient shooter and player, doesn't turn the ball over. If he does something, it's a positive. Every team needs that glue guy who's efficient and can do a little bit of everything, guys.
He's surprised a lot of people with how well he's done. Thanks, Doris. Free throw good by Curry.
Kevin, Stephen Curry was the 7th pick in the 2009 draft, and if they did that over, he might be the 2nd pick. I mean, he's a terrific shooter and good potential as a playmaker. I think the Warriors got a steal.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Talking about the future of Steph Curry, Clark, he joined Team USA for the World Championships in 2010, and to make the team after just his rookie season, Steve, a very impressive distinction.
Yeah, winning a gold medal. What an experience that was for Steph Curry and for a Warriors organization that hasn't had an all-star in almost 15 years. But Curry represents the future of that franchise.
Unloads from 9, and he drops that one in. 10 points for Ellis.
You know, when there's little or no D on this guy and he's headed to the rim, just chalk it up and go on.
Here is Jeffries. The dish to Walker. He's guarded by Ellis. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. That's on Monte Ellis.
And the Warriors have had very little success over the last 15 years or so, but they've got new ownership in place, so there's hope. They've got some good young talent. They've manufactured their cap situation, and they're trying to bring in as many good players as possible. I think this has a chance to be an excellent franchise.
Strong thoughts there, Steve. Ironically for the Warriors, some of the best moves the Warriors have made recently didn't involve a trade at all, like Monte Ellis, for instance, Clark. He was supposedly going to Memphis.
Kevin, you're exactly right. I mean, sometimes the best move is no move, and they need to keep adding talent, but you got to manage your money wisely. You've got to be smart and creative. And if you're going to trade away a key player, you better make sure you get significant value in return.
And it's Wright missing. The Knicks leading by 7, and they're running. And Williams backs in. Udo picks him up. Williams can't get it to go.
Boy, surprised to see that one stay out.
Me too, Steve. I mean, those are ones that usually go down for sure.
Outside Curry. A 3-ball. Good. Curry's got 7 points.
Well, another uncontested 3 there. They've got to make some kind of an adjustment. I mean, they're giving up way too many open 3s.
Well, the last 5 hoops, 3 have come off wide open 3-pointers, Clark. So it's one thing to give up 1, but you start giving 3-pointers up in bunches, you're in big trouble.
And Stoudemire gets it to go. And the Knicks lead by 6.
They can't seem to stop anybody inside.
They got to know that if they don't make life tougher in the paint, the opponent is just going to keep going there. I mean, it's not like they'll get tired of all these in-close opportunities.
Timeout called the Warriors.
Well, you know, it was interesting. The Knicks did not come up with more wins than losses against the West last year, but they were almost 500, 14-16 against the Western Conference.
So for the Knicks, Jeffries comes in for Amari Stoudemire. And Landry Fields subbed in for Bill Walker. Golden State also making some changes. Lee comes in for Udo. And it's Ellis in for Steph Curry. Here's Wright. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Ellis kicks to Lee. Jeffries there.
Well, that was not an easy play, but he made it look routine.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Well, so confident is owner Joe Lacob that he has signed a contract with the Golden State Warriors fans. His goals include reaching the playoffs and having an all-star. And if these goals are not met, the fans will receive gifts and ticket price changes for each goal not met. A unique strategy to be sure, guys.
Thank you, Doris. We'll see how many of those goals they meet.
Yeah, you talk about backing up your talk. I mean, fans have to appreciate that gesture from the Warriors brass.
No good from Lee. The Knicks leading by 9. Ellis against Douglas. And again, it's New York.
You know, for a little guy, he's really got game on the low block. His combination of strength and footwork make him a load to handle down there.
Ellis outside. Lee is screen on Douglas. Williams against Lee. 6 to shoot. Over Williams. Lee, that's good.
Good job there, Kevin, getting himself a little space on the inside.
Now the Knicks with it. And here's Douglas, picked up by Ellis. Here's Williams, and again it's New York.
That's a nice play there. The more contributors this team can get, the better.
Warriors trail by 11. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Right side. Right side. And that one's good. 9 seconds left to play in the first half. Up top, Douglas. Over Ellis. Good!
Ooh-wee, Kevin. That was a big shot to extend their lead and send them into halftime with momentum.
And the first half is now in the books. Knicks lead by 11.
Happy Wednesday to you. Let's keep your week rolling right along with HP at the half. Out in New York, the Knicks are ahead against Golden State. Some outstanding minutes from their bench unit, delivering instant offense. Carmelo Anthony locked in so far. Seems like everything's falling for him. Not sure if he even knows how to miss. And for Golden State, they've been battling. They're stroking it from outside, hitting the 3 ball with ease. Monte Ellis leads the team in scoring. Shouldn't be a shock to anyone. We've seen him put up big numbers before. Not the closest game, but you got to hand it to both of these guys for setting the pace. Thanks so much for joining us here in the studio. We hope to see you next time. We'll send you back out to the second half.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. Here is Billups.
Well, the Warriors have always played a very exciting style, but it hasn't translated well to the road. In fact, last season they went just 10-31 away from Oakland.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And Golden State looking at who they've got. Monte and Curry in the backcourt. David Lee and Andres Pietrich up front, and it's Wright in at the 3 slot. And you know, for the Warriors, that road record, and Steve, you just talked about it, 10-31. That is an area they're going to have to improve on if they ever want to get in the playoffs.
Well, you know, toughness has been an issue for them. They've been more of a finesse team. When you're trying to claw out a win on the road, there's some toughness you've got to present and possess mentally and physically. And they're trying to add some size and strength inside, and, you know, that's a good place to start.
Billups kicks to Anthony. Lee with the steal.
Oops. You got to watch it if you bring the ball down when you're on the low block.
Right, the pass to Ellis. Takes it out, and he converts the layup. Ellis has got 12 in the game.
Kevin, I don't know if there's a more gifted scorer in the league than Monte Ellis. At 6'3", he's slippery, he's explosive, and he's always confident.
Now Tirion. Now here's Fields. 4 on the clock. And Anthony with the basket on the assist from Landry Fields. 18 points for Carmelo Anthony. We're going back to Monte Ellis' scoring ability, Clark. He and Steph Curry, the highest scoring backcourt in the NBA last season. Steve, they can both really fill it up.
Well, they're both so talented in terms of either handling the ball or playing off of it. They can both score, they can both create, and really a dynamic duo in that backcourt. Fun to watch them play together.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
And the Knicks last season did not use their bench very often, kind of typical of a Mike D'Antoni team. He relies heavily on his starters, and that was the case a year ago.
Jared Jeffries, he's checked in for New York. Walker comes in for Landry Fields. Lewis Amundsen, he's checked in for Golden State. Here's Ellis. He's got 12. Backs him down. Right, left side. Clock at 6. Right, left side. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist. Wright's got 5. Steve, back to what you were saying about that New York Knicks bench. A big part of that was they were so short-handed. Remember Clark when they got that trade and trying to, bring Melo up to speed on what they were doing?
No question. I mean, it got them Melo that trade, but it also left a few players tired because they lost some of their bench depth. Could have been why they saw so many late-season injuries as players were maybe a bit worn out. You think about Chauncey Billups going down late. Interesting discussion.
That free throw good from Anthony.
Well, there are a lot of good closers in the NBA, but for my money, Carmelo Anthony is the best guy in the fourth quarter when you absolutely need a bucket.
Now here's Ellis. He's guarded closer. Lee, good, and the assist goes to Ellis.
That's a nice job of getting the ball in the paint and burying the shot. That's exactly how it's done.
And Steve just talked about Carmelo Clark as a clutch scorer. The stats back him up. With the game on the line, there are a few better in the league in doing that.
I would put him right at the very top of the list, too, top 2 or 3, because he can get it over you, he can get it around you, he can do it with his back to the basket, can do it from the three-point line, and he's a really good free throw shooter. I mean, he is really one of the premier scorers in our league, without question.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Al Thornton's checked in for Wright, and it's Williams in for Monte Ellis. And the ball travels out of bounds. Turnover.
That's a gift. I mean, you're just giving possessions away now.
The Knicks leading by 9, and the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. Here's Anthony. He's got 21. The jump hook gets it to go. Anthony's got 23 points.
Well, under Mike D'Antoni, you know you're going to have one of the best offenses in the league, and that was certainly the case with the Knicks a year ago. They finished second in the NBA in scoring.
He dishes it to Thornton. Just 5 on the clock. Williams outside. It's rebounded by New York. And Clark, back to the Knicks scoring. You know, Mike D'Antoni was really brought over to develop that run-and-gun style we saw for so many successful seasons in Phoenix.
Yeah, I'd like to see him win a championship with it. It has not happened yet, but there's no doubt the Knicks have been much more competitive under Mike D'Antoni's watch, and frankly, they're more exciting as well. We'll see what happens going forward.
Here's Amundsen on its way from Curry for two. Plenty of room around him, and it's good. Curry's got 9. The Knicks leading by 12. The runner, and the Knicks getting another bucket right there.
Boy, are they on a tear.
You know what, Stephen? Offensively, you sometimes don't know how or why it happens, but you just ride the wave as long as it's flowing.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
You know, one of the things the Warriors have done pretty well over the years is scout the D-League. They've found guys like Reggie Williams and Jeremy Lin, and they do a nice job of finding talent.
So for the Knicks, Sheldon Williams checks in for Jeffries. Sean Williams checks in for Bill Walker. And Tony Douglas is subbed in for Chauncey Billups. Then for the Warriors, Biedrins comes in for Louis Amundsen. And it's Ellison for Steph Curry. We've got 33 seconds left in the third quarter. Back to Williams. The three. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist. Williams has got 6.
I tell you what, he'll be quite contented to sit out there beyond the arc and knock down shot after shot if they're going to play defense like that. Tighten it up out there.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. Free throw good, Stoudemire. And he makes the first, but misses the second. Now here's Biedrins. With 4 seconds on the clock, again, Golden State. Here's Douglas. The shot is off. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Carmelo Anthony really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Well, we know he can score, so it's not really a huge shock to see him put up these kind of big numbers.
And I would think that he most likely will continue to carry on this kind of play into the fourth.
Back in a moment from New York. So as we get rolling here in the fourth, let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, for the Sprite Spark Report. Doris?
Hey, Kevin. Well, our spark of the game goes to the Knicks for that major surge. They keep going right at that defense and continue to pile points on top of their lead. Every time you look up, their lead seems to be getting wider.
Great stuff as always, Doris. Thank you. Clark, that was the game's critical point.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I really think it was. I mean, it really tipped things in their favor. No doubt about it.
Man, that's going to happen to you when you keep piling up those points and you get on a run like that.
So with Billups on the bench, here's the 5 for Mike D'Antoni right now. Tony Douglas out there with Walker. Then it's Sean Williams. Then there's Jeffries. And it's Anthony in at the 4 slot. Right up. And the layup is good. Anthony's got 28. Here's Ellis. A decent amount of time left as they try to find a way back into it.
Not time to panic yet, guys.
Steve?
Well, it will be soon if they don't cut into this lead quickly. And where's the defense? I mean, this has been pathetic at both ends.
Yeah, it has been pathetic defensively, but it's been exciting from an offensive standpoint. But if you like defense, then neither one of these teams deserves to win.
Anthony backing him down. And there's another one for the Knicks.
And now 6 of their last 10 points from mid-range.
Yeah, jump shot really serving these guys pretty well.
Ellis outside. Ellis right side. Fades. Again, Golden State.
He's been producing all night. It's up to the rest of his team to start kicking in a little bit.
Douglas with it. Guarded by Curry. Douglas can't hit.
He came away empty there, and that's a shot that should probably go down.
So for the Knicks, Stoudemire's checked in for Jeffers. And Chauncey Billups is subbed in for Bill Walker. And then for Golden State, David Lee checked in for Beatrice. Thornton comes in for Reggie Williams. And Terrell Wright has subbed in for Steph Curry. Wright left side. And here is Ellis. Pass to Lee. Shot clock at 6. Over Williams. Lee gets the bucket.
Well, they've done a lot of their damage from mid-range here, guys. I mean, knocking down those shots with regularity.
Yeah, how about 8 of their last 10 points, guys, coming off that mid-range area jump shot. So, shows you don't have to be at the rim to score.
Anthony backing him down. Now Billups, picked up by Ellis. With the clock winding down, banks it home. And the Knicks lead by 8.
And this continues to be a shootout.
Well, I'm a fan as well as a commentator, and I love this fast-paced action. I mean, it's going back and forth, back and forth.
Lee against Stoudemire. Shoots it up. Three-pointer, and Wright gets it to go on the assist from David Lee.
Three-pointers have been a huge problem for this defense.
Yeah, they've been a day late and $1 short. I mean, and it's costing them. You got to get there sooner.
Anthony can't hit. Warriors trail by 5. Here's Ellis. Tries to save it. Some changes for Golden State. Beatrice comes in for Utah. And Steph Curry is subbed in for Al Thornton. Here's Billups. And there's a minute 45 left in the fourth. Anthony backing him down. On the money. Anthony's got 32 points in the game.
That's exactly what they had in mind on that possession.
Timeout called the Warriors. They're losing by 7. There's a minute 34 left in the game. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Mark Jackson said to his club. He wasn't pleased at all with their perimeter defense, saying, listen, all the wide open threes they're getting are killing us. We need to have a lot more defensive activity away from the basket, guys.
Billups against Curry. Feeds to Lee. Over Anthony. There's David Lee on the assist by Curry. 8 points for David Lee. The Knicks leading by 5. Stoudemire with a screen on Lee. Now here's Douglas. Anthony backing him down. Outside Williams. Just 3 to shoot. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. And the Knicks lead by 8.
Oh, I like the fluidity I'm seeing from them on offense. It's a thing of beauty. Fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. They're moving the ball well, finding the open man, making that extra pass. They're playing very unselfishly right now.
You know, guys, it's interesting. Such a good first half for him. Not one turnover, but since halftime, he's been coughing it up repeatedly. That's as bad a miscue as you'll see. It's good to be thinking a few steps ahead, but you've got to maintain some type of current awareness too.
Here's Ellis. Defended by Douglas. Douglas with the steal.
Well, you got to love that kind of anticipatory defense.
Foul call. Looked like that he didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws. Gets the first. That'll give him a 9-point lead. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
And that'll do it, Kevin. Those last free throws were the icing on the cake.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. They're down by 10. 29 seconds left to play here in the fourth. .29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Right against Williams. Douglas against Ellis. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
Here's Douglas. It's New York picking up the win. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win is a good win.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see you next time. And now, our Jordan Player of the Game, Carmelo Anthony.